I remember when I was a little boy, my grandmother and I can hold a conversation entirely without opening our mouths. She called it shining. Hey, what's up guys, Brooklawsome here, and let's talk about Doctor Sleep. A film that is directed by Mike Flanagan and it stars Ewan McGregor, Kylie Curran, Rebecca Ferguson, and this is the sequel to The Shining. It is also an adaptation from this book. Okay, so Ewan McGregor plays an adult Danny Torrance, a guy who is struggling with alcoholism and also trying to get away from his past. Because if you watch The Shining, you know he has a very messed up past. But then he met Abra Stone, a girl who also has The Shining, and she talks to him about the True Knot and how dangerous they are, because the True Knot is a cult that kidnaps anybody who has The Shining to suck the steam out of them. Yeah, they feed off steam of people who has The Shining in order to live long. So yeah, they're like some kind of vampires. And then Danny and Abra are trying to stop this group of people. So yeah, what are my thoughts from this movie? Well, I love this movie actually. I do think this is the best horror film I've seen this year. Without a doubt, I do think too that this is better than It Chapter 2. And yeah, despite the changes from the book, I still love this film. And I can expect that there are changes here because Stanley Kubrick's The Shining changed a lot from the book. Okay, so let's talk about the cast here. Ewan McGregor as an adult Danny Torrance, he did great. He did a fantastic performance in this film. Kylie Curran as Abra Stone, well, she is amazing in this film. This is the another best child performance I've seen in the film. And she plays this character who is so strong, which she did a great job because this is a really big task for an actor to portray a character that is so strong. Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat. Well, she did great in this film. I do think this is the another great incarnation of a character from the book to a movie. Awesome. And again, this is directed by Mike Flanagan, the guy who directed Gerald's Game, another great Stephen King adaptation. And back in I don't know, a year ago, when I heard that he is going to direct this film, I was like, whoa, I'm so excited, but at the same time nervous, because this is not just a movie that he is going to direct. This is the sequel to The Shining, so he has to make sure that the fans are pleased. And he did great because the fan service in this film are really handled well. And okay, let's talk about the mythology of The Shining, because this film explores a lot in this mythology. Unlike Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, we only met two characters in that film, Danny Torrance and Dick Hallorann. Dick Hallorann also tells Danny that he has a grandma who can able to shine too. And that's the exploration we had in that mythology of that film. But in this film, it's so huge that we can see this kid who has The Shining, another kid who has The Shining, another guy who has The Shining. It really explores a lot in this mythology of The Shining. I really love it. So let's talk about the pacing of this film, because a lot of people were complaining about this pacing. Well, I don't have any problem with this pacing really, because it gives characters some time, and you know, we have to see what are they doing with their life before we have to go into this plot. I really love this kind of technique of a film. The only issue I have with this film is that there are some parts that really do feel rushed, and it is asking the audience to accept it. You know, it's just something like that. And that's all I can say. Again, Doctor Sleep is another best horror film I've seen in 2019. Another great child performance I've seen in the film. The cinematography in this film is a masterwork. Mike Flanagan did an excellent job in capturing the vibe of Stanley Kubrick and also the heart from the book by Stephen King. And I do think Stephen King is okay with this film because, unlike Stanley Kubrick, if you have read The Shining and also watched the film, you can understand why Stephen King didn't like the film. Doctor Sleep is another film that I walked out the theater very satisfied. I'm gonna give this film an A. I love this film again, I love it. And I can't wait for the Blu-ray to come out. And if you haven't watched this, please watch it. And if you have watched it, let me know your thoughts and put it in the comment below. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back in the next video. Stay cool guys, see you next time.